Yes, I'm Patricia, and my surname is Dabski-Nerlich. I'm married to a Pole. I live in Bournemouth, in the south of England, in Dorset, and I've come over here to take photographs and watch the ceremonies for the armistice. My cousin Leslie Loomis was going to come and couldn't come from Canada. And my great-grandfather was Major General Loomis, and I'm very interested in the history of my great-grandfather and the Canadian Black Watch, and also the pipe band, a very cheerful band I've been with all morning on the coach, and their wives, and it's been a great honor to be welcomed by them on board the coach and to be welcomed here in their hotel, to be with the association in Mons. I feel it's a great privilege.
Thank you. And what could you tell me about your great-grandfather? You didn't get to know him, I suppose, did you?
I didn't get to know him, no, but my mother lived in Montreal, was married in Montreal, and he was in the Canadian infantry, and the ceremonial sword belonging to my great-grandfather was used to cut the wedding cake. I have an article from the Montreal Gazette to show you that picture, and no, that's right.
How was it today? How did you feel?
Oh, it was moving, and I know it was solemn. It's a solemn occasion, but I was welcomed and given information by all the members of the band, which made it easier for me. It was quite difficult to just join in at the last minute, but I thought the Waller's ceremony was very well done. The band played beautifully. They looked very, very smart. I felt very proud, and seeing the little Flora Stewart, that little goat, was gorgeous and dressed in that. She even had a little coat and a little medal around her neck. It must have been traumatizing for the little goat, but the men did a great job looking after her, making her feel comfortable, and the farmer was there too. It's nice to see. Everything was very well prepared. I know there were many changes done at the last minute, but to have organized bringing two groups over from Canada, the Black Watch and the Pipe Band, it's a huge undertaking, and I really respect these men and their wives.
What does it mean for you to see them here in Belgium?
It means a lot. It means a huge. Sorry to use ordinary words. It means a huge amount. I need to think about it more. But it's. I was born in Belgium. I went to school here till I was about 6. My grandmother's actually Belgian. My own father had to escape Belgium from Courtrai during the Second World War because they were British, although the grandmother was Belgian, and they had to escape to Canada. So that's how my father joined the Canadian infantry, and in fact he was sent over back to England with the Canadians during the Second World War to Sussex. So I've heard my father had one of these bands with he was an officer only, but I feel extremely moved and proud to be given this band as a token of my great-grandfather, Major General Loomis, to remember this day, this weekend. It's going to go so fast, too fast really, to take it all in. The band is such cheerful gentlemen that it sort of releases the tension of the atmosphere of things being solemn, but I know that visiting the cemeteries is a solemn occasion. I have been to visit my great-uncle in a cemetery at Bethune, and although I'd never met him, I found it very moving. And the cemeteries are beautifully kept, war cemeteries in Belgium. It's a very special experience too. I have also brought a group of English school children, teenagers. We were sent to France for a week on a French course, and we visited the cemeteries, and I was quite touched to see some of the children weeping, and they hadn't met any of these soldiers, but their fathers were in the army or the navy, and so mostly the army. So yes.
Good. Perfect. I will just make an image of your wrist.
I'm wearing this because a brooch, because I wear the poppies, but unfortunately they always fall off at the important moments, so it stays on. I've been given very generously by the Canadians many lovely poppies, and I hope I will be able to affix them for tomorrow and they stay on.
This one is a nice one.
Thank you.
Is there anything you would like to add, or?
No, I don't think I want to talk too much. It's to do with them and to do with the soldiers and who are so brave. What I feel really moves me is that they come from Canada across the Atlantic, to visit the cemeteries, to do these ceremonies, but also in the First World War, the conditions were so difficult, being in trenches, and terrible weather conditions, and they were ill, to keep fighting away from home, leaving their families behind. My great-grandfather left 6 children to come over at 44. I don't know how he did that, really. He was also doing very well in business. He was a contractor, built bridges and roads. And I heard from my mother that when he came back to Canada, he was gassed. He'd been gassed by mustard gas or whatever they used here during the war. And he was never well again after that. So I think that's sad for the family when he came home after the war. But he'd been gassed like many others. And I think times were harder for him when he came back to Montreal after that. The business wasn't doing so well anymore. It had gone a bit to pot while he was away. I'm trying to find out how many years he actually was in Belgium. I've been given a website for the diary, which I'm just started reading, so I'll be able to learn more about him. He's my hero. He is definitely my war hero.
Parfait.